This computer terminal provides full access to the LCAR's computer net.
Hey guys, welcome to the LCAR's ADV Subspace channel. Welcome aboard. Well, we're going to go into one of the only design flaws of the GPX fse250e, and it only applies to this bike in particular because it's carbureted and where the engine sits on the frame. So I quickly found out one day when I took the bike to work that reserve did not have a lot of mileage on it, and that's because of the carburetor sits way up high. You can't see it, but it sits up higher, so the gravity can't overcome to use it all. It's got a trap in the fuel line to get up to the fuel inlet. So reserve didn't have a lot. And then the problem just got worse when I upgraded to the Nibbi carburetor, which I definitely recommend. And I'll show you a couple of pictures of the comparison of the carburetor so you can see. And as you can see, on the OEM carb, the fuel inlet is on the side, and the Nibbi carb, the fuel inlet is on the top. So once you put it on the top, now you have even more of a trap for the fuel to overcome. And the fuel line would be like way up here because that's where the fuel inlet was. Like, you can't overcome the gravity to get into the carburetor. So, you know, I'd only be able to get about, I don't know, 70-ish miles, maybe a little more depending if I'm doing a little more conservative riding or road riding. But, you know, I can't use all the fuel in the tank, you know, which I know you can get about 100 miles out of the tank with the OEM carb. So that was a problem. So I looked into switching that inlet to the side, and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, this is the Nibbi carb that comes with the fse250e. Notice the inlet is on the side of the carb. And if you get the Nibbi, like the true Nibbi carb, that is not a knockoff, which is this one here, notice the inlet is on the top. So I am going to remove this and hopefully install it right there. How I'm removing that fuel inlet is I'm drilling it out with a tap and not taking too much meat away from the fuel inlet because I want to reuse it. And then I have a little screw bolt here with a nut on it, and then I have some spacers, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to remove the inlet. First, I'm going to tap this inlet with this. Then I'm going to use a little MAP gas and heat the body around that fitting. I'm not going to heat the fitting itself, but the body. Then I'm going to screw my bolts in with my spacers in there and get some thread meat on there. Then I'm going to back the bolt up and use a wrench to tighten this nut down onto the spacers, and that will pull it out. There we go, she's out. Not too bad. Pretty easy pull there. Probably gonna have to file down that BB a little bit so you can get your starter drill bit in there. All right, successfully drilled out. Just make sure you step it up, go small to big. I believe I ended up with a .234 drill bit. I'm gonna fill that hole with a little RTV, and then I will probably also top it off with a little JB Weld. All right, just put a little light coating of JB Weld around that. You probably could just use some epoxy if you want to, but I'm never taking it off again, so. And so we just pop that on, and we covered that with some JB Weld on top of that as well. So, well, we're gonna let it dry, and then we'll put it back on the bike. Not too bad, huh? Definitely gonna squeeze out some more fuel out of that. Like I said, I did end up using a .234 drill bit. That might be just a hair large.
but it probably would work fine. But that's why I use the JB Weld to just, you know, give me some insurance there. But other than that, it turned out pretty decent. So let's put this back on the bike.
And here is the finished product. So you can see the fuel line is on the side now, and it's much better. So it worked like a charm. So I hope this helped out some of you guys. Definitely helped me out, and I'm gonna squeeze some more mileage out of the tank. And like I said, if you have any questions, just leave a comment. And much appreciated for watching the video, and live long and ride.